Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. Today, I have got a shovel that I found, and you've seen me grinding on it already, at a thrift store. And these are these old shovels. Well, I had one that the screw part right here don't work on it. It did not have this on there. And I've got another handle in it. Well, this one, you can see the handle's right, and these are those old army shovels. You know, probably a lot of folks had them. So with that being rotten like it is, I can't use it for anything. It's no good to me. I mean, I would love for that original handle to stay in it, but it's just not going to happen. Okay. So I am changing it. I had a piece of willow cut, and I'll be honest with you, I cut it. That ain't gonna help. We're gonna have to get a sure enough punch probably to knock that through. I had a piece of willow here. You see me filing on the end of it, shaping it to fit in there. I had it, I was gonna make me a dip net, and I broke it in the process. So I decided to use a handle out of it to fix this, so that when I'm going out looking for roots and stuff later in the year, that's the main reason I wanted, like, digging up those greenbrier roots. So we're gonna replace a handle in this, and then we may go look for some roots, walk around and see what we can dig up with it and find. Just a handy piece of equipment to have, like, for the buggy, because you don't want to keep a full-size shovel every time. And I transplant a lot of plants, and this will be very handy for that. I dig up, like, when I find lobelias and things off that I want to bring up here and put in my medicinal garden, I bring them up here, I put them in pot, different things. So you can dig up that, and I plant a lot of trees. I find trees off out in the woods, like, hey, I want one of these up around the yard, and I'll dig it up, come up here, and early in the spring, I'll plant it. A lot of times, if I dig it up this time of year, I put it in a pot right out here and water it for a while through the winter, whatever, and let it establish roots in that dirt, or, you know, and then put, because if you put one out here in this yard, now dry as it is, it won't live long. So anyway, let me get this pin drove out, and we're going to get these handles fixed up. So this will be what goes in there. So stick with me, let's see if we can get this fixed up. I think I'm gonna lay this right up kind of on top of that. Get it started with this. Let me get my flogging tool. Get my safety glasses back down over my head. Y'all know I love that safety. I may have a time getting that out of there, y'all. I don't know. Y'all, I'll be honest with y'all, it took me a minute to get this broke loose here now. We got it coming our way now, though. Get it on knocked out. It was wanted to be a doozy, though. Y'all know what a doozy is. Y'all hear me say that a lot. A doozy. Oh, Lord Jesus. Jesus, Jesus. Y'all, I know good and well this was an army shovel right here, or military shovel, because they ain't no surrender in it. It ain't gave up yet. I mean to tell you, this joker right here being about more hard-headed than anything I ever dealt with in all my blowing days. But it's met its match, because there ain't no quitting me either. Well, there's two right ones to just pull out. Doggone, y'all. The handle said I've been in this shovel since 1962, and I ain't a-coming out. This is home. Oh, I got all of that out finally. So I got my handle here, and I chopped the end of it off on the miter saw. Looks like I need to cut maybe just a hair off, or I don't know. Let me shave just y'all, when you're doing woodwork, one of these farriers rasp, smooth it a little more on one side, really rough on the other. You can take a lot of wood off. Fitting stuff, I have found that to be the ideal thing. Oh. Alright. That is fair enough, y'all. So I'm gonna round this off with that rasp, but before I do, I want to find something to pin this. So y'all, I made that hole right there just a tad smaller than what it needed to be for the purpose of it swelling that wood out inside this handle some. Alright. So now what I want to do, see how I got that nail drove through. I get my stuff spread all around, out of my way, in my way, whatnot. So cut it off. You see I cut it off, sticking up a little bit? We're gonna mushroom that out with a hammer. So let me lay that up on my anvil. Yes, sir. Oh. Actually, I'm gonna screw this up now. Fold all of this up. See, that is what I like about this. And I have a sheath somewhere that fits this thing, so you can put it on the old military. I'll have to see if I can locate it. I do not know right where it's at off the top of my head. All right. Now I just chopped that down with a hatchet the other day. And I'm not trying to make it perfect, y'all. I know a lot of people, depending on what I'm making, I guess, but stuff like this, I'm just trying to go for function, because most likely I'm going to tear this handle out. It's willow. I really don't know how well it's going to hold up. I would have preferred to put hickory in it, but this was laying there and I wanted to use it for something, and I said I'm going to see if it'll work. I have several pieces of willow that is laying there off of a weeping willow right here by this guy's bottom. We're going to saw all that up, and this is the part that I broke off. And that is what we're going to use here soon to make gunpowder, y'all. It's just really right now for me a little too hot to be out here doing a whole lot. I just wanted to get out and do something today. Let's see how I want to go about this. Something like that. Yeah. Y'all like my old paintbrush? That's what I've been painting that oil on them 9 pounds. Old brush is in rough shape. Ooh, no. About time for a nerding. Yeah, that in there done got hard on me. We're just trying to preserve it because I'll be out in the wood, water, wet, and nasty. It's liable to get thrown in the back of the buggy and forgot about. You know how tools are. It ain't like, you know. And y'all, I am a huge fan of thrift stores and such as this. I just, it's like a treasure hunt. I could have went and bought me a fancy little shovel somewhere. Done really well for what I wanted to do, but when you find something and then you can fix it and kind of personalize it, that I like that. That's what I like to do here. We're gonna let that dry a little bit. I'm gonna go eat me a popsicle. Put my tools right hand back up. If I don't put them drill bits back in that thing right there, next time I get ready to use them, I won't know where they at. From this point, y'all, I've got it soaked in with some boiled linseed oil. I will start my handles. I normally put animal fat on them. So I looked up and y'all, I found this thing that goes with this. Now it was not for this particular shovel, but for one like it. The one I have, and it's buried in all that stuff over there, does not have the I guess the pickaxe looking part on it. That is one of the reasons I wanted this one. So what I thought we would do is I have put a few things in my bag here, a couple of plastic bags, and I'm going to show you sort of how I go about if I'm walking harvesting plants. Now obviously a lot of times I'll go down here on my buggy and ride around and dig up stuff, and I just set it in the back, come here and stick it in the pot. But if you're gonna walk and scout, use these tools, do it this way. This is how we would go about this. So come on, y'all, let's go. Y'all, getting out and walking, looking for plants, it's probably one of my most fun activities to do this time of year. Let me get y'all out of the sun. It's not a lot going on in the outdoors other than fishing right now, and it is really about too hot to fish. And I have done a lot of fishing, but I like this time of year. The medicinal plants are blooming and it's time to harvest them, and I really like to just get out and see what I can find. But y'all, it is miserably hot. Right now in some of these shaded areas is not so bad, and it's not really that the temperature is so high. The humidity is what's killing us, which it has started to drop today. Yesterday was really bad, But we got just a couple more days of this hot weather, and then it's supposed to cool off a little bit. When that happens, y'all, we're gonna dive off into our getting geared up for hunting season and tuning up our black powder and all of that stuff. Getting ready for the fall hunting season. So hopefully we get to do more camping and such as that. But I'm kind of looking just to see what I can see. There's not gonna be any mushrooms. It is dry. So hopefully we got some weather with moisture coming in next week. And speaking of hunting, you see them chewed up pine cones? We should have rain like middle of next week. So what I'm coming down here to look for right now is Solidago rugosa. This is wrinkle leaf goldenrod. Medicinal properties is pretty much the same as any goldenrod. It blooms a little later in the year, closer to cooler weather. I can identify it readily. I know what it's looked like. I also know right where it's at. So right here around this curve is a good bit of it. I have just got to locate it. I have a lot of help down here, like killing my weeds. You know how it is. They like to spray all the fence rows and everything. You know, people don't realize, I leave that alone. I like it, but they trying to clean up. So this right here is wrinkle leaf goldenrod. I've got quite a bit of it, but what I'm doing, the reason I transplant is this is going to get probably sprayed or killed eventually where it's at. If you look on up through there on the sides of the roads on up there, there's been sprayed on both sides of this trail. So what I'm doing is trying to gather plants, move them into my yard to save them. So I know there's going to be a lot of people out there probably like, oh, you don't need to be all digging up plants everywhere. Number one, I'm on my personal property, so it don't really matter. The next thing is I'm not going to take more than, there's like a whole bunch of this right here, but I know it's going to get killed right here. And when people start telling you, well, don't harvest everything, you got to take into consideration a couple of things. In a general rule of thumb, where natural selection and natural growth and all that is occurring, yes, you need to obey those rules. But if you're on a power line somewhere and, in 2 weeks, they're going to come through here and bush hog all of this before it seeds out, or they're fixing to spray all of this and kill, get everything. If you want it. So common sense. Let's dig some of this up, and I'm going to show you what I do to kind of get it to the house and get it where I can transplant. Okay, for starters, this is wrinkle leaf goldenrod right here. Let me pull one of these smaller ones up so I can really get it into the camera and see. Like this, I got all the roots, everything. I just snatched that up by the roots. No, I did not give thanks to the plant and all of this. I will take it and replant it. I'm going to pick that yellow off just because I don't like it. But anyway, you see how these leaves are more rounded, shorter, wider usually. This is Solidago rugosa. The top has one slender shoot where your other goldenrods branch out more. Altissima really branches out of top. Canadensis will have one shoot with wings, looks like, sticking out to the side. So anyway, they all have the same properties pretty much. You're not going to hurt anything. I wanted to show you, see how this grows from the root. A lot of times Solidago will come back from the roots, so that is why you can transplant it. Stuff like my lobelias only come back from seed. And look what I found right here now. It has a bit of a spider web. But there's my snack for the trip. Right there. So make sure that you got the creepy crawlies off. Snack. So this is Solidago canadensis. So you see how the top, it is mainly one stem and it branches out some, not like a whole bunch of branching. You see how these leaves are more slender and pointed? You can see the difference. There they are side by side. See the difference? A lot of people are going to say, oh, that looks like some kind of mint. This has no square stem. This is a very woody, round stem. Basically, we just wanted to use our shovel. I mean, a lot of this, you can seriously just pull up like I did that, okay? So, I'm gonna dig this other one up just because what you want to do is drop them down in a bag like this, and then you can store them back in there. The plastic bag being for, I'm gonna stop and put a little water in there. Now, no longer than I'm going to be and no further than I am from the house, the water is probably not necessary, but we're going to stop and do it just for demonstration purposes. So, found my sheath thing, showed y'all. Now, I am not like one of those, y'all know that a lot of the bushcraft and all people like big on these shovels and they chop and they do all these. Y'all, I'm gonna just be honest with you, it's too heavy for the benefits that I'm gonna get to just carry a shovel everywhere I go. I had much rather, for general woodsmanship stuff, have this tomahawk. This tomahawk would do a lot. So, I mean, there's a lot of digging. I could get what plants I want right here with my knife and that tomahawk if I need to cut roots. Probably just my knife, very easily. So what this is just to make life easier for what we are doing, okay? See, there's greenbrier right there. I'm gonna dig this greenbrier up first. The main reason I wanted this, and see how that is hard? Watch this. See that? You can pull a lot of your roots and stuff. You see, that is basically running there. I don't know how far that goes. So if you was hunting smilax, you could dig these. Now see, this is just a small root. I'm gonna take this for the simple reason, y'all, I want to make some tea out of this. I've been experimenting with some of this stuff. So what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to chop this up where I can get it into my bag. Oh, I don't want that part. I just want these roots. Okay. I really don't want all that, but I can more effectively cut that off. There we go. So I've got a handful of roots. I'm gonna make some tea out of that just to see how it works while my tincture is making. So this is the beauty of this. So I'm digging my little shovel, y'all. Get that pun. I'm digging it. I'm really digging these plants. You dig? So right here, you get a plant with a bunch of roots. And I had my reading glasses for another purpose down here with me. Y'all will see in videos, or have already seen probably the time this video comes out. Alright. So right here, now I'm going to pull off the dirt that I don't need. Just for the sake of, I don't need a lot of it. is gonna go in fresh dirt. So that's all I'm gonna try to harvest for the time being. We'll stop, put some water in it. Oh. And y'all, just that simple to come down here with a bag, dig up some plants. All right. So this top, you gotta kind of make sure you. All right. And just like that, we're good to go, y'all. Got my plants. Get my feather out of the strap. All right. Y'all, there is a plant right here that I have been watching. I am not 100% sure what it is. I have researched it and got a couple of different names, so I'm still working on what that is. Now, y'all, I wanted to mention one thing right here. I have water in my canteen or in my grill. I usually fill it up at the house and use it like a water canteen. And I like it because I can refill it out here in the muddy water if I need to. So I could have just poured some water out of my canteen into that plant enough to moisten it. I would have been good right there. I wouldn't have had to go hunting water. But I know that there's water like right over here, and it's not a good practice to waste your water in this kind of weather, because let's say you're not right behind your house, that you did traipse off a little ways and say you step in a hole and get injured. You may know there's water right over here somewhere and say, well, I can use it. Or you can say, well, I'm just this far from the house. I know I can make it home without drinking any of my water. Okay, you step on something and get injured. I know most likely that is not going to happen. But what if it does? You could at least have some water to drink, because here in a little while, my wife's going to get to go, oh, where's he at? Well, she's not today because she's going to a shower. She's got to go decorate and help with a ladies' shower. But somebody will be like, where's he at? He was supposed to do this at this time. He's supposed to come get Brody down at my mother. So, somebody's going to come looking for you after a while. Well, you don't want to lay there 3 or 4 hours, can't walk, with no water because you poured it on the plant. You see what I'm saying? So think these things through. Okay, I stopped that pond. I dipped the top of the bag down in there. See, we've got some water now on these roots. We're gonna put them back down in our bag. See how now we still have good, and it's been an hour, well, 30 minutes since I picked them. They're not really wilting bad. So, and y'all, it's hot. I mean, I don't know how to put this any other way. I don't have a thermometer under here. I'm happy with this. We gotta find a home for it. I like for everything to have a certain place it goes. I'll have to find a place for that. I'm putting my greenbrier roots over here. Get the tomahawk out. And I had this shoved off. And y'all always carry several plastic bags in your gear is a big help for when you find stuff you want to bring out, and if it's dirty, you don't get it all over your other stuff, or if it's wet, or if it starts raining and you only got a few items in there that you don't want wet, you can put them in there. And y'all, I want to say something else. I've talked about this Grail a good bit in different videos. I'm not promoting Grail at all, okay? But water in those stainless steel bottles get hot just in your bag this time of year, or laying in where this seems to be. It is not insulated. A Yeti bottle will be a whole lot better. But for what this does all around, this does not get as hot. So y'all, I am digging this thing. I really am. So anyway, let's get our plant taken care of. Okay, so I have one of these pots. Y'all, I saved these through garden season when we bought shrubs and stuff for the landscaping. So what I do, come down over into here. Now I'm gonna keep this. Now I'm gonna set it right here. Now this is a lobelia. I done this the same way. Actually, I grabbed this and just jerked it up. Now the top part of this is dead. I knew it was gonna die because I broke it off, but it is still very much green right around here. So I'm keeping both of this alive. And I can, right here, I can, well, I hold it. Water them in good. Now for a couple of weeks, you'll have to stay on top of this water situation. All right, I'll wash my bag back out. These bags, now y'all, I also use them in the hunting season. I keep several in there because if you kill game, I have got to where instead of wearing those haversacks, because a haversack will only hold so much gear and use game. And if I kill 8 squirrels, well, that takes up a good bit of area. So I'm bad to take this with me now, and I can put my game inside of it, plus my Grail, plus whatever else I need. A lot of times I carry my coffee thermos with coffee early in the morning. So just some tips to help y'all. And this is a look at the shovel after we got through with it. I'm pretty pleased with it. We'll sand this handle probably a little smoother over time. Thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.